Hey everyone, this is Ms. Fisher, and I'm going to go ahead and help you if you need it with the Go Formative Unit 5 Lesson 10 Traversals Investigate. So the first few bubbles here have to do with Unit 5 Lesson 10 Bubble 2, Run the Mile Tracker app. It asks you to run it and then take a look closely at the program. If we look at the program, we can see that we do have one list called mile times. And if you scroll down, and let's just go ahead and run it once together. So I'm going to put in 10 and add say 11 and add another one. And again, what I talked about in class is it's hard to see, so I'm just going to make these a little bit bigger. Okay, by clicking and dragging in design mode, I'll just make it uniform. Then let's try again. Add 10, add 11. I'm not very fast. And my average is 10.5. The fastest is 10. The slowest is 11. Okay. So we can keep adding how many minutes it took for each mile that I ran. Okay. This is keeping a log of everything. So as you take a look at the program, we're going to add the number of minutes to mile times, right? So it's the time that it took for 1 mile. So if you take a look at right here, new mile time, new mile button, you can see that it says get number. So it's going to read the data that the user inputs as a number. So this is actually all going to be number data types in this list. So we've got quite a few functions here. We have update screen, which is going to update the output on the app screen. Okay, and it's going to call on these functions: average, fast, slow, numbered list display. We have the average, which is going to find the average, which is posted right here. Slow, which finds the slowest time, which is going to be the biggest time, right? The biggest time. So that's going to be posted here, displayed here. And then the fastest is the smallest time. You're going to compare each time, and you're going to get the one that is the smallest and, post that, right? Display it here. And the numbered list display just simply lists all the miles here in this text box, okay? So what we're asked to do is to create another function. So all of these functions are similar in that they all use for loops. Right? They all go through, and you can see they all go through the mile times list using a for loop. Beginning of R, I get 0, I less than mile times dot length, I plus plus. So here we're actually adding total in a for loop, and then we're going to get the total time and divide by the number of miles, the number of basically items in our mile times, which will give us the number of miles total. Instead of adding it all up, we're going to go ahead and create a function for that. So let's click and drag a function block here, and we're going to call it, it says add times. And we need a global variable called total time. So I'll call this one add times. And we need a global variable up here called var total times. Total time, singular. And I'm going to go ahead and initialize that to 0. Okay. So it's going to look really similar to the other code. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and copy and paste here what we have and use it as a template in my new function. Okay. If I can find it, here it is. I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste, and then we're just going to modify. We're going to keep the temporary variable, and at the end, instead of reassigning slowest, we're going to reassign our total time. Okay, so we're going to begin at the beginning, the first item in mile times list, and we're going to go till the last item, which is mile times dot length minus 1. So in this case, instead of comparing, we're not looking for a single item. What we're doing is we're actually taking what's already in temp and adding to it the value at that given index. And in this case, the name is miles times I, right? So we begin with 0. You're going to add what is currently in, let's see here. We've got an error. Temp gets temp plus mile times I. And let's see here. I think I'm missing a curly brace. Or actually, I have too many. There we go. Okay. So now I can show you the blocks. Okay. So in this case, we've got temp gets 0. And every time you're going to add what's currently in temp with the item at index I, okay, the value at index I. And these are the times that you enter in this text box, okay? So now at the end, it's going to reassign that temp, which is that local variable, to total time. Then it's not being called, right? So what we want to do is we actually want to call it in the update screen function, okay? In the update screen function. And so let's take a look here. So we're going to call it here, okay, in the update screen button right here. So let's go ahead and go to functions and call on add times. And we also have to call on it in average. And I'm going to change it go formative so you can see that. So what we want to do is, instead of adding up all the times, we've already done it. I'm going to go ahead and just assign total to, well, we have total. We actually don't even need this, right? All we have to do is add total time, which is our global variable here. And we're going to call on it first, right? We're going to update the total time, and then we're going to find the average, okay? So we're going to actually, this is something called abstraction, where we're going to simplify the code. And instead of, we're just going to call on add times, because maybe I want that somewhere else. Maybe I want to track how much time I took to run all these miles. Okay, so let's go ahead and reset and run, and let's see if this works. I'm going to put in 10, and then I'm going to put in 11, and that looks like that's working fine. And I'll put in 11. Let's say I'm feeling even slower. I put in 12, and that all makes sense. All right. So when you're done, go ahead and copy and paste this code into the Go formative. All right. I hope that helps, and I will see y'all in class.